Welcome to this class with Teacher Lizzie. When do we use present simple? What does present simple work for? Present simple is used for descriptions. The speaker describes, number 1, general truths. These are facts, things that are real now and won't change in the future. For example, the ice floats. El hielo flota. Number 2, habits. These are daily routine. He sometimes cooks breakfast. Number 3, permanent states. For example, I live in Germany. In your case, you live in Antofagasta. The general rule to write a simple present sentence is subject, pronoun, verb, complement, object of the verb. For example, I live in Poland. In Poland is the object that the verb refers to. When describing daily routine or habits, the speaker uses frequency adverbs to inform how often or when he/she does these things. Always means every day. For example, Dad always cooks the dinner. Usually means the speaker does these things almost every day. Mom usually gets up early. Why? Because mom sometimes doesn't work, so mom usually gets up early. Often means the speaker doesn't do these things all the time, every day. However, he/she has a specific schedule to do it. For example, Cindy often surfs the net or the internet. Cindy is not always on the internet because Cindy has to study, right? Like you guys. Sometimes means almost never. For example, Tim. Tim is a nice guy, but when Tim gets really mad, Tim sometimes bangs the door. Never. These things don't happen. Bob never goes to school late because Bob is an excellent student. In simple present tense, third person singular, he, she, it, you have to add an s, es, or ies at the end of the verb or the action, like this. That is third person singular. You can change that by he. So you have to add at the end of the verb cook an s. Mom is third person singular. You can change mom by the pronoun she. So you have to add at the end of the verb an s, and so on. But how do you know when to add an s, es, or ies? These are present simple spelling rules. How do you know when to add an s, ies, or an es? Number 1, when the verb ends with an s or double s, sh, ch, x, or an o, you have to add es at the end of the verb. For example, I miss, double s. He misses, third person singular. I finish, sh. He finishes, third person singular. I watch, ch. He watches. I mix, x. He mixes. I go, o. He goes. Second rule, When the verb ends with a consonant plus a y, or when the verb ends with a consonant, you have to add at the end of the verb ies. For example, I study, dy. He studies. I cry, ry. He cries. Third rule, and the final one. When the verb ends with a vowel plus a y, you have to add an s at the end of the verb. For example, I play, a vowel, y. He plays. Very good. Now, we're going to do first item in your worksheet to practice the uses for simple present spelling rules. How do you do this? You have to circle the correct answer and write it down in the blank. Number 1, I. I is a first person pronoun. It's singular. It's not third person. So we have to circle like and not likes. And we write down like. Number 2, we. We is plural. So which is the answer? It or its? We have to circle it. And then we write down the correct answer. Number 3, they. They is plural. Swim or swims? Swim or swims? Swim. And we write it down. They swim every day. Very good. Number 4, he, third person singular. Cook or cooks? He cook or cooks? He cooks. Write it down. He cooks well. So we have to order the sentences. For example, number 5, Poland, in, live, I. I live in Poland. Let's start. Remember, the general rule to write in simple present is pronoun plus verb plus the complement or the object of your verb. Okay? That is the general rule that we are going to use to complete this item. Number 2, a lot you read. What goes first? Excellent. The pronoun you. You. Then we have to add the verb, read, and the object, a lot. Number 7. Rule. First thing, the pronoun he, verb, cooks, object, well. 8. Pronoun she, verb, has, object, a dog. 9. Pronoun it, verb, comes, and the object, which is from Dragonland. Why from and then Dragonland? From means de donde proviene, and Dragonland is a place. So it comes from the Dragonland. Very good. Good. How to make questions? This is the most common general way. To make questions in any time, you have to use auxiliary verbs. These are called like that because they help the listener to determine when these things happened. Auxiliary verb do is used with the following pronouns: I, yo, you, para tú o ustedes, dependiendo del contexto. We, nosotros, nosotras, they, ellos, ellas. Auxiliary verb does is used with third person singular. He, él, she, ella, it, para indicar eso. Un animal que tú no conoces su género, si es hembra o macho, y una cosa que las cosas, los objetos no tienen género. This is the general rule. When asking questions, you have to write down first the auxiliary verb. In this case, you have the subject, which is the pronoun you. You goes with do, so you start with the auxiliary verb do, the pronoun, the main verb or action, and then the complement or the object for your verb. Do you play guitar? ¿Tocas la guitarra? These are some more examples of questions. The way to answer them in a short manner is yes, no, plus the pronoun, plus the auxiliary verb in affirmative or in a negative way. Let's start. Do you live in Surco? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Do you watch TV every day? Yes, I do. No, I don't. In third person singular, it goes, does she speak French? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Remember, when answering, the short way is yes or no, pronoun, and the auxiliary verb. In affirmation, in negation. Item number 2. You have to complete the blank with doesn't or don't. Write the negative form also. Let's start. He, third person singular, doesn't. He doesn't live in Mexico. But I do live in Mexico. Let's pretend, okay? She, third person singular, she doesn't. That is the negative form, right? She doesn't work in a bank. He does. I don't. Singular. First person singular. I don't play golf once a week, but you do. Ron, third person singular, doesn't. Ron doesn't listen to the radio, but we do. Number 3. Do or does. Write the interrogative form and answer the questions. Your friend like spaghetti? Your. Does. Why does? Why does means you? No. Your means tú, algo tuyo. Friend, amigo. Tienen que fijarse en el sujeto, que en este caso el sujeto de esta oración es friend, amigo o amiga. And you can change friend by he or she. So, the auxiliary verb is does. You have to answer. Does your friend like spaghetti? Does your friend like spaghetti? Yes, she does. My friend is a she, so she does. Number 2. The children, los niños, go to school on Fridays? Do the children go to school on Fridays? Yes, they do, and they like it. Number 3. Your sister. Sister is a she, third person singular. So we add does. Very good. Does your sister watch TV in the morning? No, she doesn't. She studies. She's a good student. She doesn't. She's a good student. She studies in the mornings. Number 4. He read comics. He, third person singular, does. Very good. Does he read comics? No, he doesn't. He read books. He doesn't. Now, if you want to continue practicing, you can do that. It's not an obligation. But if you want to, you can go to this web page. You can go to this web page and you can keep practicing some more, okay? Now, when the speaker wants to know information about amount or quantity in present simple, she uses much, many, how much and how many. How much means a large amount of or a lot in quantity. Used with uncountable nouns. Used in negative and interrogative clauses. How many means a large number of. Means a large number of or a lot in number. Used with countable nouns. Used in questions, affirmative sentences, and negations. Only for practicing. Use how much or how many to complete the questions. Mind countable and uncountable nouns. Stars. Are there in the sky? Countable or uncountable? Countable. You can count the stars. So, how much or how many? How many? How many stars are in the sky? People. Personas. Countable or uncountable? Countable. How many people live on islands? Birds. Countable or uncountable? Birds. Countable. How many? How many birds are there? Water. Countable or uncountable? Uncountable. How much? How much water is in the ocean? Money. Countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Why is it uncountable? How much money? Why is money uncountable? We will have to count all the coins, all the pennies, todos los pesitos de 1, todos los pesitos de 10, de 100, de 50, los billetes de 5, de 1000, de 2000, de 10,000. Es demasiado. El dinero es incontable. Si bien tú puedes contar el dinero que hay en tu billetera o en tu monedero al momento de realizar una compra, esos son cantidades pequeñas que tú sabes que tienes, pero tú no sabes cuánto dinero tiene la otra persona, en especial si se trata de un banco. So that is uncountable. To answer the simple present questions, how much, how many, the speaker uses there is, there are, and the amount. For example, there is, there are. There is singular, uncountable. For example, sand, water, money. In a positive way, you will have to say there is 1 liter of water. This is the short form. There is 1 liter of water. There are is the plural form, countable. Countable things. For example, people. There are 7 people. There are 10 people. Negative. There is not. And the short form is there isn't. The countable way is there are not. The short form is there aren't. The interrogative way, you sweep. You sweep. First goes is. Here is an auxiliary verb. Is there water? Are there people? Are there islands? Are there countries? Let's go to our worksheet. Item 4. How many? How much? There is. There are. Let's complete. Shall we? Is there a lamp? Yes, there is. Here there is. The lamp is singular or plural? Singular. So is there? Yes. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. How many lamps? How many? There is one lamp, or there is one lamp. Are there sofas? Where are the sofas? Here are the sofas. One sofa, two sofas. Is this singular or plural? More than two or two? Plural. So we have to answer with yes, there are. There are sofas. How many sofas? There are two sofas. There are two sofas. Is there a TV? Yes, there is. Is it singular or plural? Singular. So we have to answer yes. There is. How many TVs there are? How many TVs? There is one TV. And that's it.